Welcome to Info Guru, where real, documented mysteries get the deep dive they deserve. In 1948, a man was found dead on an Australian beach with no name, no ID, and a torn scrap of paper hidden in his secret pocket that read, "It is finished." Decades later, DNA finally gave him a name, but never explained how he died, or what those two words actually meant. That's just one of 6 real unsolved mysteries in this video. A vanishing with footprints that stop at a riverbank. A television signal hijacked by a masked stranger who was never caught. And a 500-year-old book that still, to this day, no one on Earth can read. Stay till the end, because the last one might be the strangest unsolved mystery in history. These aren't ghost stories or internet legends made up for clicks. Every single one of these is a documented, real case, with real police files, real researchers, and real people who spend entire careers trying, and failing, to solve them. And I promise, you don't know the actual details of most of these. May 14, 2008. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson was driving home late at night near Marshall, Minnesota, when his car slid off the road and got stuck in a ditch. He wasn't hurt. He called his parents just after 1 in the morning to come get him. His parents got in the car and started driving toward him, staying on the phone the entire time. Brandon told them he thought he could see lights nearby, and that he was going to start walking toward them to find help. For the next 40 minutes, they just talked, completely normal, like nothing was wrong. Then Brandon let out a sudden, startled shout, and the phone line went dead. His parents called back immediately. No answer. Not that night, and not ever again. Search teams scoured the area for weeks. Eventually, they found something impossible to explain, a single set of footprints in the mud, matching his shoe size, leading straight toward the Yellow Medicine River, and then just stopping. No signs of a struggle. No footprints leading back. Nothing. Divers searched the river. Cadavered dogs searched the banks for miles. Brandon Swanson has never been found, and to this day, nobody can explain why his footprints simply end at the edge of the water. Investigators have never ruled out a simple accident, that Brandon slipped into the dark water in the confusion and was swept downstream. But the strange gap between his shout and total silence, the complete absence of a body anywhere along that river, and footprints that simply stop, are the details that still keep this case open today. February 25, 1957, Philadelphia. A man checking his muskrat traps in a wooded area found a cardboard box hidden in the brush. Inside was the body of a young boy, no older than 6, wrapped in a blanket. He had no clothes, no name, nothing to identify him. Police launched one of the largest investigations in the city's history. They printed his photo on over 400,000 flyers, and even inserted his picture into gas bills sent across the city, begging anyone, anywhere, to recognize him. Thousands of tips came in. Psychics were consulted. A homicide detective reportedly carried the boy's case file with him for the rest of his life, and asked to be buried near him. But for 65 years, nobody could say who this child was. Then in 2022, forensic genealogists finally used DNA to give him back his name, Joseph Augustus Sorelli. But naming him only answered one question. Nobody has ever been charged. Nobody knows who put him in that box, or why. Investigators reportedly had a person of interest in mind for decades, a local caregiver connected to children in the area, but she died before any charges could ever be filed. Detectives who worked this case for a lifetime, some now retired, some gone, considered it the one that got away. Naming him didn't close it. December 1, 1948. A well-dressed man was found dead, propped against a seawall on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. Every tag had been cut out of his clothes. He carried no wallet, no ID, and the autopsy couldn't even determine how he died. Weeks later, someone discovered a tiny hidden pocket sewn into his trousers, so small it had been missed completely. Inside was a rolled-up scrap of paper with 2 printed words, Tamam Shud. Persian for, "It is finished." Police traced the paper to a rare copy of a book, thrown into the back of a stranger's unlocked car right around the time of the man's death. Inside the back cover of that exact book was a phone number, and 5 lines of jumbled capital letters that looked exactly like a secret code. Codebreakers, including Australian military intelligence, tried to crack it for decades. Nobody ever could. And for 74 years, the man himself stayed just as nameless as his message. In 2022, university researchers finally used DNA pulled from a plaster cast of his face to identify him, Carl Webb, an electrical engineer. But how he died, and what that code actually says, is still, officially, unsolved. The phone number found in that exact book traced back to a young nurse living nearby, who admitted the number was hers but denied ever knowing the man. Combined with an unexplained cause of death, and the exact era he died in, one theory has outlived every other, that Carl Webb wasn't just a stranger on a beach, but a Cold War spy. November 22, 1987, Chicago. During a live sports broadcast on WGN, the picture suddenly cut out. For 25 seconds, a figure wearing a mask, styled after the TV character Max Headroom, appeared on screen instead, rocking back and forth in front of a spinning metal background, saying nothing that made sense. Engineers scrambled, cut the signal, and figured it was some kind of prank. Then, 2 hours later, it happened again, this time on a completely different channel, WTTW, in the middle of a Doctor Who broadcast. This time the masked figure stayed on air for almost 2 full minutes, rambling and giggling, before the broadcast cut back to static. To pull this off, whoever did it needed serious equipment, and had to physically overpower a professional broadcast signal, not just some home hacker move. The FCC investigated. The FBI investigated. Nobody was ever identified, ever caught, or ever came forward. To this day, we don't know who, or why. Over the years, amateur investigators built entire suspect lists chasing rumors and half-tips. In 2020, one documentary crew even tracked down a man they believed was responsible. He denied it, on camera, and without hard evidence, that lead went nowhere either. Officially, the case is still wide open, and still completely unexplained. Since the early 1990s, residents of Taos, New Mexico have reported the exact same thing, a low, constant humming sound, like a diesel engine idling somewhere far away, audible only at night, and only to some people. It's not just Taos. The same phenomenon has been reported in England, Canada, and across parts of the United States. Scientists even gave it a name, the hum. Roughly 2% of people in an affected area can hear it. Everyone else hears nothing at all. In the 1990s, a research team was sent to Taos with seismographs, radio receivers, and magnetometers to try and pin down the source. They monitored for months. No unusual signal. No industrial cause. No explanation. Some researchers think it's a form of tinnitus. Others think it's a real, external, low-frequency sound science just hasn't located yet. Either way, for the people who hear it every single night, the hum is very real, and it has never been explained. Online, thousands of self-described hum sufferers compare notes, describing headaches, sleepless nights, and the exact same low droning frequency, despite living thousands of miles apart and never speaking before finding each other. Researchers have floated pipelines, sonar, and radio frequencies as possible sources, but none of those explanations hold up everywhere the hum has been heard. This is the Voynich manuscript, 240 pages of handwritten text and strange illustrations, carbon dated to the early 1400s. It's real. It's over 600 years old. And to this day, not one person on Earth can read a single word of it. The pages are full of plants that don't exist anywhere in nature, star charts that don't match any known sky, and dozens of diagrams connected by strange tubes and vessels. Nobody knows what any of it means. During World War II, some of the best codebreakers in history, the same people who cracked Nazi Enigma machines, tried to decode it. They failed completely. Modern computer scientists have thrown artificial intelligence at it. They've failed too. Some experts think it's a lost language. Some think it's an elaborate, centuries-old hoax designed to fool a buyer. And some think it might genuinely be the only surviving example of a language nobody remembers how to speak. It sits behind glass at Yale University right now, fully digitized, studied by thousands of researchers every year. And in 600 years, exactly 0 of them have figured out what it says. In 2019, a researcher publicly claimed he had finally cracked it, decoding it as an early lost European language. It made headlines everywhere. Then linguists actually checked his work, and the claim fell apart within days. Modern AI has been thrown at it since, and the results are still debated to this day. 6 real mysteries. A vanishing that ends at a riverbank. A boy who finally got his name back, 65 years later. A code nobody can crack. A hijacker nobody ever caught. A sound nobody can explain. And a book nobody on earth can read. Every single one of these cases is still technically open. No expiration date, no closed file, just questions that have sat unanswered for decades, sometimes for over a century. And somewhere out there, the real answer to at least one of them is probably still sitting, waiting to be found. If one of these got under your skin, that's the point, they're real, and they're still open. Subscribe for more real unsolved mysteries like these, and let me know in the comments which one you'd actually want solved first.